Welcome! In this playthrough of Marvel Champions card game, we have Silk teaming up with Spider-Man to take on an expert Sandman. So for our villain setup, we've got the Sandman down here. Be starting out with a scheme of 1 and attack of 3. When revealed, resolve the Surging Sands ability on city streets. Take a look at that in a sec. He's got a Sandblast ability. As a force to interrupt, when Sandman attacks you, that attack deals indirect damage. If your identity takes any amount of damage from that attack, resolve the Surging Sands ability on city streets. And 18 health per player, and we'll go over version 3 when we see that in the game. City streets. So the Surging Sands is special. Place a sand counter here. Discard cards from the top of the encounter deck equal to the number of sand counters here. Hero action, exhaust a character you control. Remove sand counters from here equal to that character's attack. And then for our main scheme, there's just one. Goes over our content. So we've got the Sandman, Down to Earth, City and Chaos, Standard, and Expert sets in here. For setup, searching counter deck for the City Streets environment and put it into play with 4 sand counters on it. Then on this side, force response. After an acceleration token is placed on the scheme, deal 3 indirect damage to the first player. And this will be starting with 4 threat in it for a 2-player game. And then for our heroes, we've got Silk going with aggression, Spider-Man going with justice. So Silk has a thwart of 1, attack of 2, defense of 3. There are 4 more tucked cards here. Discard all but 4 of those cards. And her Silk Sense. So response after you defeat a minion or side scheme or resolve a treachery card, tuck that card under here from the encounter discard pile. Hand size of 5, hit points of 10. Then an alter ego, got a recovery of 3. Number of tucked cards underneath here. And an action, discard a card tucked here to draw 2 cards. Hand size of 6 on that side. Then we've got 2 power of aggressions. Then I have Hulk and Wolverine to help with the sand counters if needed. Spider-Girl, Gold Balls, Sunfire, Throg. And then for some resources, Martial Prowess, Boot Camp. And then 3 Relentless Assaults, 3 Precision Strikes, and 3 1x1s. And our basic cards, we have our 3 dual resources, then Ingenuity for another resource, Endurance, Downtime, and Mockingbird to help stun the enemy because his attacks can get nasty. And then Spider-Man, thwart of 1, attack of 2, defense of 3. Looks very familiar, but he's got the Spider Sense. Interrupt, when the villain initiates attack against you, draw a card. Hence has a 5, health of 10. Alter Ego, recovery of 3. Scientist, as a resource, generate a mental resource once per round, hand size of 6 on this side. Then we have 2 power of justice, then Wiccan, Quake, Eros, Agent Coulson, Monica Chang, then 3 clear the areas, 3 for justice, and 3 surveillance teams, and then a sense of justice, under surveillance, and spycraft. And our basic cards, we have the 3 dual resources. Sidearm, just in case I get Black Cat out there. Make her a little bit more deadly. Then an Endurance, Quinn Carrier, Ingenuity, Nick Fury, and another Mockingbird. Okay, finishing our setup, shuffling our encounter deck, and then we get to resolve the Surging Sands ability, which once again is place a sand counter here. So it started with 4, goes up to 5, discard cards from the top of the encounter deck equal to the number of sand counters. So 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. And we lose Rhino and Advance and Assault and a couple others. Alright, then for our setup for Cindy Moon and Peter Parker, both getting 6 cards. See what we get to start with. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and 6. Alright, get the scoop, precision strike, organic webbing. That gives us +1 thwart. Hero action, exhaust it and discard a card tucked under Silk to ready Silk. She gains an arrow trait until the end of the round. That's a keeper. Ingenuity's a keeper. And we won't be able to pay for anything else. But we'll keep Mockingbird just in case. And see if we can get some double resources. Nope. Just another card we want in play. All right, Peter Parker. Final shuffle. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and 6. Alright, Strength, Keeper, Wiccan, Favorite Ally, Webbed Up, Spider Tracer, Nick? Sure, why not? Webbed Up. Maybe. Web Kick and a Backflip. Okay, the easy call, play only if your identity has a genius trait, which we do in Alter Ego. Resource exhausted to generate a mental resource. Then we will flip over. Use that to generate a resource and have Mockingbird help bring in our webbing to give us our +1 thwart and that other ability. And then we will thwart for 2. Then over here, we're going to use our ability to generate a mental resource to call up Nick Fury, bring him in for 3. So thwart a 2 attack of 2, 3 health. After he enters play, choose to either remove 2 threat from a scheme, draw 3 cards, or deal 4 damage to an enemy. We are going with the draw 3 cards. Under surveillance, clear the area and energy. Then we're going to flip over and be a hero and play Webbed Up. Hero form only, attached to an enemy, max 1 per enemy. Forced interrupt when attached enemy would attack, discard Webbed Up instead, then stun that enemy. So hopefully we have him taken care of for the near future. And Nick will thwart for 2. And we will exhaust to remove 2 counters, taking that down to 3. And we'll go ahead and keep these just in case Sandman finds another way to attack. We'll have the backflip. So clear the area, a web shooter, and a sidearm, which is in there for Black Cat. And over here, keep an outwit, drawing into a swinging silk kick, the Hulk, Sunfire, and another kick. So we get 2 threat. Well, I guess we will ready. And he does have a damage on him. All right. So we got the 2 threat, goes to attack, loses Webbed Up, gets stunned. And then goes to attack, loses stun, so just encounter cards. Got a master plan, place 4 threat on each side scheme. Since we don't have any, we're going to discard until we find one. Hey, you found one. Found a dirt trap. Page billow floods the streets around you. Everywhere you turn, Sandman awaits. When defeated, resolve the Surging Sands ability on city streets. Resolve it again. That just has 1. And we got a Sand Smash. We're in hero form. Sandman attacks you with +1. I will bury you. Just like I assumed, he'd find a way to attack us. So he initiates the attack. We draw a card into a Spider Tracer. Then he's coming at us for base 3. Let's see. Resolve the cards. This card's when revealed ability. When revealed, place 2 sand counters on city streets. Then resolve its Surging Sands ability. If at least 1 Sandman card was discarded this way, you are stunned. Good grief. So we're placing 2 on there. Then we resolve the ability, which places another one on there. Discard 6 cards, 3, 4, 5, and 6. And yes, there's definitely just 1 Sandman card in there. And our eviction notice. So we end up stunned out of that. And the 3 damage coming in. Even though it's indirect, could have got rid of 2. We're going to, when you would take any amount of damage from an attack, prevent all that damage. And then pass first player. And Nick Fury goes away. We are going to exhaust to remove 2 counters. Down to 4. If I can quit knocking this thing over. We're going to request an action over here. So hero action. She's also going to exhaust to remove 2 counters. Down to 2. Then back to Spider-Man. We're going to clear the area. Remove 2 threat from a scheme. If this removes the last threat on that scheme, draw a card. Actually, we can't do that just yet because of the silly dirt trap. So in that case, we bring in Wiccan, thwarter 1, attacking 1, 3 health. After he thwarts, discard the top card of the encounter deck. For each boost icon discarded this way, deal a damage to an enemy. So he will thwart for 1. So we resolve the Surging Sands ability, and then we resolve it again. So it goes up to 3. 1, 2, 3. And then we resolve it again, goes up to 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. And then we'll discard a card to do 1 damage. And that's Wiccan in the dirt trap. Now we'll clear the area, removing 2 threat. And that will allow us to draw a card into an endurance. And I'll go ahead and flip over and use our resource to bring in the endurance to give us plus 3 health. Alright, so over here, I've already forgotten what she resolved the master plan. I should have put that under her. After defeat a minion or side scheme, we resolve a treachery card, tuck that card under here. Then we're going to bring in the Hulk. So can't thwart, but he's got an attack of 3, 5 health. After he attacks, discard the top card of your deck. If that card's printed resource has either of those abilities, we do a special thing. But his special thing for a while is to bring that down to 1. Then we will use that to help bring in Outwit. So when we make a basic thwart, exhaust Outwit. For this thwart, she gets plus 1 for each card tucked under her from the same encounter set as the thwarted scheme. Then we'll use her webbing to discard this to ready, and then attack for 2. And end our turn. So over here, we've got a backflip for justice, a web shooter, more for justice, swinging web kick, and power of justice. And then we've got energy, relentless assault, Spider Girl, relentless assault, and the power of aggression. So we get 2 threats. Sandman's going to scheme over here for 1, just a 1. And didn't mean to take those off, but we are going to defend. So it's a base 3, 4, 5. We will put 2 damage on the Hulk. So nothing else triggers. Then our encounter cards. Common Criminal, Schema 0, attacking 1, 3 health. Surge, alter ego action, spend a physical resource to deal 3 damage to the Common Criminal. This minion is defeated this way. Choose to either draw a card or remove 3 threat from a side scheme. That surges into Shadow of the Past, everyone's favorite card. That is going to bring in the Vulture. Schema 1, attack at 3 and 4 health. He's got Quick Strike, but we're not in hero mode, so that doesn't do anything. Highway Robbery. When revealed, each player places a random card from their hand face down here. When defeated, return each face down card to its owner's hand. Comes in with 6 threat. Then we're going to shuffle these 3 into what little cards we have in the encounter deck. So for Silk, each player face down. And Peter Parker. Okay. Then Sandform, attach a Sandman. Force interrupt when you would deal any amount of damage to Sandman. Discard Sandform instead. Resolve the Surging Sands ability on city streets. And pass first player. Go ahead and put the threat up there. Alright, first thing we'll do with Silk is a Relentless Assault. Deal 5 damage to a minion. If you paid for this card using a physical resource, this attack gains Overkill. So he soaks up 4. 1 breaks through. That is dealing damage, so it's going to put 1 on there, and we resolve Surging Sands. So that goes up to 2. And we lose 2 cards. Then we'll bring in Spider Girl, 4/1, attack for 2/2 health. If you play it from your hand, stun and confuse a minion. So consider that common criminal stunned and confused for the moment. Then she's going to attack for 2. Hulk will exhaust to remove those. Then over here, we're going to spend his resource to bring in a web shooter. Gets 3 counters on it. It's a hero resource. Exhaust it to remove a counter to generate a wild resource. Then we are going to spend a physical resource to deal 3 damage to this criminal. And when he's defeated, we're going to choose to remove 3 threat from a side scheme. And flip over. For Justice, remove 3 threat from a scheme. 4 instead if we paid using a mental resource. So we'll get rid of that. And Spider-Man gets his Power of Justice back, and Silk gets her Relentless Assault. Then Spider-Man will attack to get rid of stunned. And Wiccan will thwart for 1. And do 0 damage. Now it's going to end her turn. I think each of us will keep these. So Spider-Man keeping Power of Justice, Aunt May, Black Cat, Quake, and Sense of Justice, and Relentless Assault, Strength, Gold Balls, Precision Strike, and Albert Moon. So we get 2 more threat. Getting attacked over here. Initiates the attack. We draw into a web kick. We will defend and end up taking 2 damage, which triggers that, losing a card. Then over here, we'll defend also. Base 3, just 3, so we are fine. And encounter cards, and did that backwards. get back on track here. Got a sand clone, schema 1, attack of X. X is equal to the number of sand counters on city streets. When defeated, resolve the surging sands. And over here, we've got tidal sands. When revealed, place X additional threat here, where X is equal to the number of sand counters. So just getting 1 more than the listed 2, so we're up to 3, and we pass first player. Okay, Wiccan. I'm going to take that down to 2 and deal 2 damage somewhere. And we're going to put that over on the sand clone, and he goes away. Then we're going to bring in Black Cat. Thwart a 1, attack a 1 with no consequential, 2 health. Force response after you player, discard the top 2 cards of your deck. Add each card with a printed mental resource discarded this way to your hand. So we've got a Quinn Carrier and For Justice. And I'm definitely a fan of the Quinn Carrier, so we're going to use our Web Shooter to help swing it over. Play only if your identity has the Avenger trait, which we do. It's a resource, exhaust it to generate a wild resource. And we will. The Quinn Carrier is bringing Aunt May over. So as an alter ego action, exhauster, heal 4 damage from Peter Parker. Then Black Cat attacks. Takes him out. Resolve Surging Sands. Goes up to 2. We lose those. So we're going to have Spider-Girl thwart for 1. And have Gold Bowls come in. Thwart a 1, attack a 1, 3 health. When he attacks, discard up to 3 cards from the top of your deck. He gets plus X attack for this attack, where X is a number of cards discarded this way. Just to know, he didn't choose the name. And while I love attacking with him, I really hate Tidal Sand, so he's going to thwart for 1. Then we will use Ingenuity to help bring in Albert Moon as an alter ego action. Exhaust him. We choose to tuck the top card of the encounter deck under Cindy Moon or heal a damage from her for each card tucked under her. And we're at full health. So I hate flipping over when we're feeling that good. But I'm going to anyway. And use his ability to get a down-to-earth common criminal in there. Which goes through the stack. Gets an acceleration, which is going to deal 3 indirect damage to the first player. Sorry, Spider-Man. Compliments of Cindy. And I think that's going to be your turn. Oh yes, Hulk is going to exhaust to take care of that. Alright, Spider-Man, Spycraft, Enhanced Spider Sense, Arrows, Surveillance Team, and Ingenuity. Guess I do need to shuffle this. So Sandman's down to 31 health. We've barely touched him. Alright, Cindy, Wall Crawl, Power of Aggression, Spider Reflexes, Wolverine, and Relentless Assault, and Throg. 3 threat. Goes to attack, triggers, drawing a card. We're just going to take it. So it's a base 3, 4 damage. And that's going to trigger Then scheming for base 1, 2. We're up to 9. Then encounter cards. Rhino schemes for +2. If Rhino is not in play, well, he's not. Searching counter deck and discard pile for the Rhino minion and put him into play, engage with you. And Rhino, scheme of 0, attack of 3, 8 health. He's steady, and his attacks gain overkill and piercing. And gain surge since we're an alter ego. And this has surge because it always does. Got our common criminals back. And then sand form attached to Sandman. When we would deal damage to him, we discard this instead and resolve surging sands. Okay, Cindy's first player. Now, first thing she's going to do is discard this to draw 2. And then she's going to spend a physical resource to take out a common criminal to draw a card. Spider Claws. Then use Albert to put a standard card down here. Then I guess it's time to flip over. Alright, we're going to start with him. We're going to use the ability to discard 4 cards, or 3 cards, getting +1 attack for each. Even though that would have been a great one, yeah. Hate missing that one, but attacking up here to deal 4 damage. Then we're going to Relentless Assault, dealing 5 damage, and using those as physical, so we get overkill. So that is us killing Rhino, and the overkill is going to put damage on that to make that go away. And trigger. So losing 2 cards. Then we're going to bring in our Spider Reflexes. So when Silk defends, exhaust her. For this attack, she gets +1 defense for each card tucked under her from the same encounter set as the attacking enemy. After this attack, tuck the top card of the encounter deck, discard pile under Silk, which will typically be the boost card. Then we will thwart for 2. Discard a card. Using that to ready to thwart for 2 again. Then use that to wall crawl, remove 2 threat from a scheme. Then we can choose a scheme. You may discard a card tucked under Silk from the same encounter set as the chosen scheme to remove 3 threat from the chosen scheme. Not an option for us, but removing 2 is. And Hulk exhaust to take that down, and then on the Spider-Man. Well, she's going to attack for 1. Then we'll use the Quinn Carrier with a resource to help bring out Mockingbird. After she enters play, stun an enemy. And we will attack for 2. And flip over. Use our resource and a spycraft to bring in ingenuity because we're a genius, so we can exhaust that for a mental resource. And Aunt May is going to make us some chicken soup to heal us for 4. And Mockingbird thwarts for 1. And that will be our turn. So we've got a pretty nice board set up here. Peter's good with keeping arrows. We've got a webbed up, Power of Justice, Monica Chang, Surveillance Team, and Clear the Area. And over here, we're going to keep both of those also. Also have a Boot Camp, Smooth as Silk, and Endurance. So we'll get 3 threat up to 5. Goes to attack, loses stunned. Then scheming for base 1, just 1. Counter cards. Highway Robbery again. Let's get 6 threat. And steals a random card from each of us. Hard to shuffle just a few cards. And then stealing from Peter Parker. And over here, Sand Clone. And pass first player. So Aunt May heals for 4. And he goes to 13. Then we're going to use his resource to bring in Monica Chang. Thwart 1, attack 1, 2 health. After she enters play, search your deck, hand, and discard pile for a copy of the Surveillance Team support. Put it into play. Place a Snoop counter on each Surveillance Team you control. And I have already discarded 1. So they normally come in with 3. She lets it come in with an additional 1. So an action, exhaust it, remove a Snoop counter from it to remove a threat from the scheme. And she will attack for 1. Mockingbird will attack for 1. And she will attack for 1. Actually, no. Black Cat attacked for 1. We'll have her scheme for 1 along with her. And then Peter Parker will flip over and attack for 2. And we resolve the sands. Puts 1 up there, and we lose that. Then we're going to use Ingenuity and a Quinn Carrier for Webbed Up to put on Sandman. And we'll use that to remove a counter from there. And I think that's it for Spider-Man. So on to Silk. It's a little ingenuity of her own. She's going to recruit Wolverine. Thwart 1, attack of 3, 4 health. So attacks gain piercing. As a response after our turn begins, we heal 1 damage from Wolverine. Do you feel lucky, bub? And then we are going to have Silk thwart for 2. And then we will pitch Rhino to ready using our webbing and whoops. And then thwart for another 2. So now we collect that. And Spider-Man gets arrows back, and we get endurance. So Gold Balls is attacking. We're going to discard 3 cards, so he gets his full attack of 4. So Sandman's down to 24. And he gets ready to get shuffled back in. Wolverine's going to attack for 3, takes 2 consequential. Hulk continues to work on that. So that is our turn. Once again, keeping arrows. Surveillance team, Genius, Agent Coulson. We've got one more coming, along with an encounter card. And that's some energy. And we'll keep endurance because we're Genius. Counter card and shuffle. Got 3 more cards coming. All right, Mockingbird, Spider Calls, and Relentless Assault. 3 threats. Goes to attack, loses webbed up, gets stunned. Goes to attack, loses stunned. So often counter cards. The villain schemes. For 1. If this activation deals damage, it doesn't. And then volunteer work. You cannot thwart this scheme. It's an alter ego action. Spend 2 resources of any type. Remove threat from the scheme equal to your alter ego's recovery. If your identity has a civilian trait, which none of ours do, we draw a card. So that's coming in with 6 threat. And over here, Surge and reveal the top card of the encounter deck. So we get to keep that. And then Sand Smash. Sandman attacks you with +1 attack. So he's a base 4. And I think I'm just going to take it, because I don't have any Sandman cards under here to really help us. I mean, I've got some, I'll defend. So base 4, 5, 6 damage. So I soak up 3. We'll put 1 there. Oh yeah, and he healed 1 at the start of the turn, so we can we'll put 1 there also. So 3, 4, 5, and 6. So we took no damage. We get to keep that too after your feed. Yes. And then this triggers. When revealed, choose to place an acceleration token on the main scheme or exhaust a character you control and spend a resource of any type. Don't want to add the acceleration. We don't have any minions yet to deal with, so we'll exhaust Wolverine and pitch that. And then Silk Sense Overload. When a card would be tucked, under your identity by a player card effect, tuck it under here. Then if there are 2 tucked cards, you may discard this card. Remove it from the game instead if there are 3 tucked cards. And pass first player. All right, we've got 4. So we are going to discard 1 to ready with our webbing. Oh, wait a second. When we defended that boost, I don't remember what the boost was. Oh well. Would have taken us to 5 cards anyway. We're going to put our Spider Claws into play as a hero interrupt when we make a basic attack. Exhaust your claws. For this attack, we get +1 for each card tucked under here from the same encounter set as the attacked enemy. This attack gains piercing. And at the start of our turn, he should have healed. We're going to thwart for 1, 2, 3. And flip over. And discard a card to draw 2 cards. Swinging kick and precision strike. Then use that to help bring in Mockingbird so we can stun an enemy. Actually, no, we can't because we still have that Mockingbird in. So in that case, spend 2 resources of any type to remove threat from the scheme equal to our alter ego's recovery, which would be 3. Then we'll do it again. But keeping Mockingbird, using that. And that will take care of this side scheme. And then we'll use him to tuck a card under here. And we'll move over to Spider-Man. So Monica's going to thwart for 1. And then Mockingbird will thwart for 1. Black Cat will attack for 1. Spider-Man attacks for 2, so we're down to 18. Use the Quinn Carrier to bring in Agent Coulson. To enters play, search your deck and discard pile for a preparation card and add it to your hand and shuffle our deck. I think I've only got one in here, and that's Spycraft. And we'll use Ingenuity to bring that in. So play only if you control a spy character, which Coulson is. When you reveal an encounter card, discard Spycraft, cancel the effects of that card and discard it, then reveal another card from the encounter deck. And then we're going to bring in another surveillance team. Comes in with 3 counters, but we're going to go ahead and use it. And we might as well use that one too. And Coulson will finish this off. And that's going to be our turn. So we're keeping Mockingbird over here. Precision Strike, our memory, get the scoop, downtime, and a boot camp. Keeping Eros, clear the area, ×2, ×3, and a for justice. 3 threat. Scheming for 1, 2, 3. Attacking, get to draw a card. We're just going to take it for 5. That triggers over here. Lost a dirt trap. Then encounter cards. Panic in the Streets. Treat the printed text box of each location support and each persona support as if it were blank. Comes in with 5. Locations and persona. So Albert Moon. Just going to put that on it to help me remember. And Aunt May. And then the villain's going to attack us. So initiate attack, we draw a card. And we'll take it again for 5. So down to 2 health. And this triggers lose a sand clone and move first player. Oh, we're going to start with For Justice to remove 4 threat from a scheme. Taking this down to 1. Then we're going to clear the area to get rid of this. So these people have their text box back. And because of that, we get to draw a card into a web shooter. And then we're going to use this web shooter to pay for this web shooter. Then we're going to use Quinn Carrier, Ingenuity, and clear the area for a swinging web kick to deal 8 damage to an enemy. Tally ho. Down to 10. Coulson thwarts for 2. Black Cat attacks for 1. We attack for 2. Then we're going to flip over, use our ability for a resource, and this web shooter. Actually, that's a hero, so we could have used that earlier to pay for our other card to leave this, which can be used in Alter Ego, so it still all works out. So use that with a Quinn Carrier to bring in Eros, and he's going to thwart for 2. And Aunt May makes us some chicken noodle soup. If I can kind of bring her back on screen, which heals us for 4. Okay. Then Cindy is going to discard a card to draw 2, Relentless Assault, and a Wall Crawl. Then Albert is going to give us another card, Common Criminal, which will go up there. Yeah, start over turn, he healed. Then we will flip over. With Ingenuity, bring in Mockingbird to stun an enemy. Then we're going to bring in Boot Camp. Each ally we control gets +1 attack. Guess I'll throw that somewhere. So Mockingbird attacks for 2. Wolverine attacks for 4. Hulk exhausts to remove up to 4 counters. And attack for 2. And I think we're going to end her turn there. And I just find it easier to remove the exhausted tokens instead of flipping them to ready. Just my personal preference there. All right, definitely keeping that card. Power of Aggression, Martial Prowess, J. Jonah, and 1 by 1. And Peter Parker for Justice, Strength, Under Surveillance, Quake, Web Kick, and Wiccan. 3 threat. Scheming for 1, 2. Up to 7. Goes to attack over here, loses stunned. Get some encounter cards. Surge and exhaust your identity. And that surges into a dirt trap. When defeated, resolve Surging Sands and then resolve it again. And over here, place 2 sand counters on city streets, then resolve it. If at least 1 Sandman card was discarded this way, we are stunned. So we place 2 counters and then resolve it by adding a 3rd. And 1, 2, 3. So we are stunned. And we're putting that underneath. When a card would be tucked under here, we are going to remove this from the game. And pass first player. Okay, we are going to thwart. To get rid of that, that goes down here. We resolve Surging Sands, so this goes up to 4. There's not that many cards there, and when we discard from this, we quit. But we put a counter up here, so the first player takes 3 damage. And then this card says resolve it again. So we'll shuffle. And do it again, but he should have healed at the beginning of her turn. So this goes to 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. Then we will exhaust Hulk to remove 4. And exhaust him to remove the rest 1 so we don't kill him. Alright, what do we got going on here? I think with Mockingbird we will attack for 2. And we're bringing our memory. When you reveal a card from the same encounter set as the card tucked under your identity, exhaust this, swap those cards, reveal the card that had been tucked under Silk instead. Then we'll play Martial Prowess. It's a resource, exhaust it to generate a physical resource for an attack event. Then we'll use that to deal 2 damage to an enemy to defeat the first version of Sandman. So when revealed, place a sand counter on city streets and resolve the Surging Sands. Now his ability is when he attacks you, the attack gains overkill. If your identity takes any amount of damage from that attack, resolve Surging Sands and comes in with 38 health. So 20, 30, and 8. And deal 2 damage to an enemy. If this attack defeats that enemy, deal 2 damage to an enemy. Well, I think we defeated this stage of the villain, so I get to deal 2 damage to it. If I'm wrong, let me know in the comments. Then going to discard that card to ready. But this time I think I'm going to thwart for 2. And I think I'm done this time. All right, Peter Parker. Use his ability and ingenuity for some under surveillance. Attach to the main scheme. Increase the target threat value by 4. So now it goes to 22. Aunt May heals us for 4. Then we'll flip over. Swinging web kick for 8. And then thwart for 2. And Coulson will do the same. Black Cat for 1. And a Quinn Carrier and a Shooter to bring in Wiccan, who will thwart for 1. And then deal 0 damage. And did I attack with her when I shouldn't have? Yeah, I think I did. So instead of thwarting with her the one time, we'll say we attacked to get rid of stunned and then played our 1x1. So we're all good. Okay. So ending her turn. I'm going to keep Quake for Spider-Man, getting a Spider Tracer, Sense of Justice, Surveillance Team, and Enhanced Spider Sense. And for Silk, Relentless Assault, Spider Girl, Swinging Wig, Silk Kick, Wall Crawl, and Energy. So 4 threat, we're up to 6. Goes to attack for base 3. We're going to defend. Where's my defense? Right here. When Silk defends, exhaust Spider Reflexes. We get +1 for each card tucked under, which isn't going to give us any pluses, but we get whatever the boost card is. So we're still just a base 3 on 3. So we're going to take 2 damage. Which will trigger that. And then he goes to attack over here, which allows us to draw a card. And we'll do the exact same thing. Defending for 3. Take 2 damage. And trigger that. For 2. Okay, then encounter cards. Place an acceleration token or exhaust a character you control and spend a resource of any type. Spending a Relentless Assault and exhausting Wolverine. And then over here, Surge and exhaust your identity. Well, it's just going to be a Surge. We've already done that part. Highway Robbery again. You'd think superheroes would learn. Okay. So we're going to lose our wall crawl. Well, and over here. That, and Spider-Man becomes first player. Well, we do the obvious, ping for 1. Wiccan will thwart for 1 and deal 0 damage. Then we're going to bring in Quake. Thwart 1, attack of 2 and 2 health. After minion schemes, exhaust her to deal 2 damage to that minion. And attack for 2. Then we'll use this to remove 1. And use that to remove 1 from here. Then a Quinn Carrier and Ingenuity bring in another surveillance team that we will immediately use to remove a threat from that one. I think that's it for this side. Made sure to keep our enhanced spider sense. All right, start to return, heal. Attack for 2. Discard a card to ready. We'll use Martial Prowess to help with a swinging silk kick. Deal 7 damage to an enemy. May discard a card tucked under silk from the same encounter set as that enemy, which isn't an option, but if it was, we deal 2 additional damage and gain overkill. So just 7 damage. So that takes us down to 15. Hulk will take care of those. And we will attack for 2. And flip over. Use his ability to heal for 2. Discard a card to draw 2 cards. Then Ingenuity to help bring in Spider-Girl. Thwarter 1, attack for 2, 2 health. I think we've seen her before. There's no one for her to stun and confuse, but she can come in and attack for 3. And that's going to end it. So I feel like we just need to survive this turn, and we've got this. Because Cindy's got that, so 1 by 1, Sunfire, Precision Strike, Throg, and Gold Balls. And we're keeping that. Got 2 of them, awesome. Kick, Webbed Up, and Nick Fury. So we're adding 5 threat. Attacking over here, we draw a card. We're going to defend. So reveal this card. So when we would deal damage, we trigger Sands. So 3 on 3, we don't take any damage. Scheming here for base 1, 2, 3. So we're up to 12. And then in counter cards. Sandman attacks you with +1 attack. He says he will bury us. But we have our Enhanced Spider Sense. Hero Interrupt. When a treachery card is revealed from the counter deck, cancel its when revealed effects. So nothing happens from that. And got a Sand Clone. And we pass first player. We'll use Albert for us to heal 1. Then use her ability to discard a card to draw 2, Smooth as Silk and Strength, and flip over. We'll have Spider Girl attack, which will trigger this. Now or never is what we lost. Then with a little ingenuity, Silk goes in with a swinging silk kick to deal 7 damage, taking him down to 3, and then asks Spider-Man if he would like to take an action, and he says sure. So he comes in with his swinging web kick to end this battle. So Sandman is out with 2 kicks to the face. And of course I still had Wolverine. The Hulk could have attacked for once. And gold balls and backup. So that was Silk and Spider-Man against an expert Sandman. Hope you enjoyed this playthrough. So please click on the like button below and be sure to subscribe. Thanks for watching.